Welcome to part two. We're joined by Aaron any second. He'll be joining us. Uh, Lovely kid. Let's have a look. I hope he's got the old link. It's going to be stupid, aren't we? Here we go. How are we doing, Aaron? Right, before we carry on with part two, let me just give you a bit of a shout out. A couple of weeks ago, I think about 3 weeks ago, I put a video out and I said boxing needs a company that's involved with stuff that can help fighters moving forward, nutrition and that, sleeping and brain trauma and stuff like that. And lo and behold, the company got in touch with me. There you go. Human Nutrients. So after today, I'm off to do a deal with these, and we're going to do some production work for them, which involves a few cameras and cameramen and all that. So I'm really excited about that. So you'll be hearing more from this soon. How's about that then? That's a bit of luck for the old porkster, isn't it? Pop, pop, bang on that one. So I'm looking forward to that. It's something to get my teeth in, isn't it? So you've got to put effort in. Right. Do you agree with that? Well, boxing needs a bit of help with that instead of like just powder drinks and stuff like that, and your creatine stuff. What do you think, Aaron?
Well, I've trained for years myself, and I do use the only supplement I use personally is creatine. But yeah, I mean CBDs and stuff like that, they're supposed to help people recover, aren't they? And I
Yeah.
think if anything that gives you the extra percentage in sport without being dirty is a good thing, I suppose.
It helps with anti-aging, brain and whatever cognitive function, cellular energy, cardiovascular, and all that. There's a lot to it. It's a good product, and talking to
Diets
us, but I'm looking forward to it. You what, mate?
Diet's a massive thing in all sports. I mean, if you can get your diet right, I've done carnivore diets in the past where you don't eat any carbohydrates and things like that, and it gives you good clarity of mind. But it's very hard to sustain that over a long period of time, mate. As you know, with the weight you've lost over years, you've got to be strict, haven't you?
Got to be strict now when I look at a Rice Krispie square or 20 of them, and I'll demolish the lot. So you got to be disciplined, and I tend to find with fitness. I'm not saying it because I'm fit as a butcher's dog now, but I didn't used to be. You've got to do something every morning, so I tend to do something in the morning: swim, bike, or run. Then a lightweight session, and I just more or less have what I want to eat within moderation. I mean, there's times where I feel like eating a full old dairy milk walnut, but I'll just have a small bit of it, and that's enough because you're just chasing that chocolate fix, aren't you? It's a bit like being a cracker, isn't it? You have that first 20 stone, you get on M18 from Pittsmore back to Doncaster, and you're like, you know what? I'm going to turn back and get another. No, you're doing is going back and forward all day. You're playing tricks with your mind. Well, chocolate and sweet stuff used to do that to me, but I'm more stronger now. But yeah, I'm looking forward to doing a bit of work with this company. So, okie dokie, and not bad from this area. So, I'm already planting my feet. So, that's good stuff. Right, let's move on then. Anthony Yard, Benavidez. What do you think to that?
Well, it's another massive jump for him, isn't it? I know he's just come off back of Lyndon Arthur, who's a steady egg Lyndon at British level, I'd say, but it's still a huge golfing class to then jump up to Benavidez again.
Oh,
Um,
massive jump up.
yeah,
Massive.
he don't seem to have any momentum, Yard. Whereas, you know, you'd have him in there now. You'd probably jump to a Buatsi coming off a loss against Smith, and then you might you might bridge the gap up to
Them fights are
Benavidez. But
always there, though, Boazzi and Smith. So he might as well grab Benavidez while he can, hasn't he?
well, that's it. I mean, he's made a lot of money, hasn't he, by doing that? He's had two jumps in his career to make a lot of money. He's probably made £10 million, not far off Yard from what I've heard. He got paid in Russia against Kovalev, and he had the fight against obviously Bertbiev as well. So he's not shy of a few quid, mate. He sounds serious. He wants to take his career, doesn't it? But jumping up like this is not going to be good for him, mate. I can only see him getting a bit of a shellacking, to be honest with you.
I wouldn't have thought he got 10 million from them fights, to be honest, mate. Honestly, don't forget,
Well,
I'm not going to go into detail here about certain boxers, but I've seen what the Saint papers and I've seen what the boxers get, and then I've seen what gets put in the bank, and I'm like, wow. I was like,
yeah.
there's American tax or European this and stoppages for this, stoppages for that. And you'd be surprised what a boxer gets off £1 million, mate, honestly. So, but he might have had that, but I doubt that. But
It was just reported. It was just reported at the time that he made crazy money out of that Kovalev. I might be getting carried away with 10. It might have been more like 5 for them two
Well,
fights.
I won't listen to Lion Bars in the fridge. Dream it, believe it, become it.
Sunday can spin one, can't he?
I won't listen to him because he's basically just another one, another problem in the sport of boxing. He's latched onto Yard. I mean, they were getting Yard Adidas deals. To be fair to Tunde, he knows what we were doing, but he was lining his own pockets as well. They were getting Yard Adidas deals before he'd even won a belt, weren't they? I mean, what's all that about? That's hype. That's social media for you. That's a gimmick fighter, in my opinion. But it is what it is. Yard's a nice kid. I like him. I want Yard to beat David Benavidez. I will have a bet on him on the night in my accumulator. I seem to be getting 8 out of 9 or 9 out of 10 or 7 out of 8 these days. There's always fucking one that knacks me up, isn't there? But I do like how he conducts himself, Yard, and I was devastated for him in COVID when he had some family members die, and I've really felt for the kid. So I like him. I'm not a fan of his trainer at all. I think he knows diddly squat about boxing, but all he's done is line his own pockets in. So, but good luck to Yard. I like him. I like Yard a lot. But if Tunde Ajayi is that good a trainer, how come they drafted the late James Cook in to help them? So I look at it.
Well, they were saying that Yard doesn't do any sparring at all.
You do what?
They said that Yard doesn't do any sparring whatsoever. Now, I can't believe that's true, to be honest with you, but that is what the Sunday were coming out and saying. They do not spar.
They say, listen, all that comes out in his mouth is mind games or lies. So look at it as BS. And then you're halfway there. After 6 months of listening to Big Ron, I was thinking, well, that ain't what you said last month. And then I'd check, no, that's not what he said in this text, or that's not what he said then. And then I thought to myself, right, let me just reverse it up here. Whatever he says, let's look at it as knackers. Knackers. And then we move on. And that's what you've got to take this as. Knackers chatters. That's what they are. Knackers chatters. So there's a method behind the madness. But good luck to Yard, but you can't keep going from Latvian bin men to roadmen killers. There's no middle ground, is there, in my opinion? And I think Benavidez lights him up. That's just my opinion. Do you agree?
Yeah, I mean, you're right on that one. Yeah, as I say, it's a hell of a gulf. It's like going from Division 3 to Premier League into, and then playing around again in League One, then back to Premier League. He's like a yo-yo club, isn't he?
Well, every now and then you're going to get an FA Cup giant killing. A Division 2 team's going to beat a Premier League team 1-0 in an away game on a rainy night on a Wednesday where everybody's freezing the knackers off, who plays for the Premier League team, and they're all foreigners and they've all got gloves on the shirt. It's cold. Every now and then you're going to fluke one, aren't you? But the majority of times you're going to get 30 or 40 games between a League 2 team and a Premier League team, and it's going to be 39 wins in it for Premier League teams. So they're in it to win it. They're getting paid. They're not bothered. They're going to tell us he's stronger, faster, quicker than a speeding bullet and blah, blah, blah. But if truth be known, he's knocking on a bit now, Yard, isn't he? And this is probably his last throw of the dice.
Yeah, it might be his last big one, yeah. It might be. Depends how bad the beating gets.
I mean, they said Dave Allen was finished. He's talking world title money because he's got a following. So, and they said he was finished when he signed for Big Ron for the second time, but I don't know. Oak surprises me at the moment, but problem we've got in boxing at the moment, nobody wants to piss off. They're hanging around like bad smells, all these shot fighters. Your Wilders, Chisoras, your people like that, Dylan Shites. They're all hanging around like bad smells. Fury, he's 36 and in August. He's knocking on now, but maybe he's got 1 year left in his sense. Joshua's shot to shit. He's 36 as well, isn't he? Do you know what I mean? In October. So that's how I look at it. But if you say, oh, you're a hater, Russell, Porky, you're a hater. I'm not a hater, I'm a fucking realist. I'm sick of listening to rubbish. Right, Dennis McCann. It's been a year now since he fought. Bricktop's come out. He said, form wasn't filled in. They put wrong time and wrong date on when they tested him and when it was posted, this and that. It's farcical. It should be dropped on a technicality. This is how I look at it, Aaron, and you can have your own opinion. What performance enhancing drugs that you inject, allegedly, found in Dennis McCann's system? Yes or no? It was yes, wasn't it, right? So what's the fucking problem here? Why are they not dealing with it? Why are they always looking to say, no, I mean, nobody ever admits it, do they? Strict liability says you're responsible for what goes in your system. If I go out there now and jump in this car in, I boot it, I put it into the sport button, and I power down there, and I've been drinking gin out at the kitchen and tonic, a couple of big double gin and tonics, I power down there, old Bill pulls me up, I'm pulled up. So I ain't had a drink, somebody spiked me, I don't know how that's got my system. I'm going to get a ban, aren't I? I'm going to get a ban, 10-year ban, third timer, isn't it? So 3 strikes and out job, isn't it? So that's like strict liability, isn't it? So why haven't we got this in boxing? Why is that?
You know, it's just corrupt from top to bottom, and they're trying to look for any legal loophole they can to get people out, jurisdiction wise, whatnot. They did the same with Conor Benn, didn't they? That he's got off with jurisdiction, basically. It stinks, mate. But you know, they all go into bat, don't they, for the prospects and the people that have invested money in. But other people, they're not interested. You know, like you said, I think you brought it up the other day with regards Boomgardner when she got busted. They kept quiet on that one, didn't they? And then they ended up signing her down road
The
and not mentioning
matchroom
anything.
fighter, wasn't she? So nobody wanted to talk about it, did they?
Yeah. And there you go. And, you know, once you're in the old funny handshake brigade, you're protected, aren't you? And they'll put oven gloves around you and get you away from oven and the furnace of people giving you some stick.
Speaking of furnaces, right? Every time we've seen Daniel Dubois in a furnace, he's not been a firefighter, has he really? He quit against Joyce. He quit against Usyk. If Usyk puts his foot down after round 5 today and puts him into the furnace, is he a firefighter this Saturday? Now that he's got Daddy Don in his corner, or is he going to quit? Now I'm saying he's going to quit because there's quit in him. It's in him. He's like Victor Ortiz. It's in him. Flat track bullies, they quit. Look at Mike Tyson. Quit. When did you ever see Mike Tyson in a tear up and he won? You know, like a Froch Taylor or a Froch Groves, or you know, a tear up, or a Diego Corrales, that one where he come back and beat that guy, or a Mickey Ward Gatti. When have we ever seen him in a tear up and he's won, Mike Tyson? And when we're going to see Dubois in a tear up and he don't quit? That's how I look at it. If it's in you, it's in you.
Well, Tyson, you know, he were up against it with Holyfield and tried to bite his ear off, didn't he? Well, he did bite his ear off.
What was his way of
You what, sorry?
What was his way of getting out of it?
Yeah, either quit or, you know, find a way out. And we've seen that over the years with a few fighters. I would not be surprised if Daniel Dubois in this fight aims low purposely to get out the fight. I think he might.
And the referee didn't call it a low blow after what happened before because it's in UK.
Exactly. I think you could see a bit of controversy. And if he does get pulled up for the low blowing, he might carry on doing it so he gets disqualified.
Well, they want that, don't they? Because they'll want a trilogy. They want another bite of the cherry, won't they? But from what people are saying online, they're handing loads of tickets out to healthcare workers and that. So I don't know how true that is. You don't know if it's people just chatting knackers, do you? So we'll see.
He's got no real following, Dubois, to be selling out Wembley. You know, this is all off at back of Usyk.
People want to see an all-time great, don't they, in flesh?
Yeah, that's it. I don't see how he's a ticket seller. I know he just blasted Joshua out, but just because you've beat somebody with a load of fans, don't mean people are going to latch onto you all of a sudden. He's got no character whatsoever. There's nothing about him. You know, he's just pretty much an also-ran boxing in heavyweight division for me. I know he's a world champion now because Usyk gave the belt away and he's dusted Joshua.
He's a champion, that, innit?
Yeah, no one's bothered about him, mate. I think, come on. I can't think of anyone who cares.
Yeah, the Gad can say, oh, he's beat Anthony Joshua now, so he's a legit world champion. He got the belt out the dustbin, like Lennox Lewis did from Riddick Bowe. He got the belt out of dustbin from Usyk. And Usyk said, take it, I'll come back for that another time. That's the bottom line. Just like he got that WBA one. He got that by default, that regular, didn't he? So It is what it is. People can keep going on about Dubois, this and that. End of the day, he's going to have to eat loads of cornbread to beat Usyk this weekend. And I just don't think he does it. He didn't show me shit in the first fight. And I think everybody's lost the marbles over it about this new improved guy. What? Miller Ergovic could have shot Joshua. It's hardly roadman, is it? What next? Marius back? Come on, because they were looking for back before
Russ,
Miller. Tried to get back in with him before Miller. So where are we going with this here?
Well, we've not touched on it yet, but what happened with Parker? He pulled out of that fight, didn't he, Russ?
Yeah, because he
Why? That was suspicious circumstances, weren't it? Apparently real. Yeah, pulled out. We didn't see anything.
24 hours to go. Come on.
Yeah. Now that's been dusted under carpet, mate. Big time.
Of course it has, mate. Shocking, mate. Absolutely shocking. What's the matter with you? Do you want feeding again? Hey? It's like Pet's fucking corner here today. What's the matter with you? Come here. I can hear that squealing. Come here, come on. Say hello to Aaron. This is Lottie the cat who keeps digging her claws in on my clobber. What's the matter with you? Okay. Now, getting back to Joseph Parker, where does he go now? Because the big talk with him and Rhino won it at Sheffield in September. That's all gone quiet, hasn't it?
Well, I think they're just feeding Dave a load of nonsense, to be honest with you. They're chucking some big names in to try and make Dave look relevant, and make it look like he's in the mix with these big names.
How is he in the mix after beating a novice who's used to play rugby at college level? How is that in the mix for world level guys? Am I missing something here? Why don't they put him back in with Fraser Clark and let them not duke it out? Because that were a bit controversial. Put him in with Big Freeze.
Well,
let him get Big Freeze and Lazy Rhino at it.
Well, I don't think anyone wants to see that again, do they? I don't. But TKV, they're saying that. Surely Big Freezer's got a better shout at TKV than Dave Allen has after the back of his Wardley performance. In the first fight.
Dave don't throw enough to beat BKB, Aaron, in my opinion. You got to start throwing. So Dave knows that. So he's going to have to be parked up. Like I've said before, and I'll say it again, I just think he's parked up while Fisher's training like a Trojan, and they're going to get Dave at right time when he's got a big derby on him, and his beard's even bigger, and he's spouting even more rubbish on his YouTube channel. That's how I look at it. So I think it's a shame, really, because they've got a contract there to fight Fisher. Well, get it on now. What's the point in signing contracts? If you win, Dave, you get a third one, and now they're moving goalposts. Get the Fisher fight on now, and let's let him run Fisher out of boxing for good.
Fisher didn't win either fight, though, did he? I mean, technically, he's 1-1 into it, so they could call for third fight.
Contract, though, aren't they? So honour the contract, and let's have it on again. Let's have it on.
I mean, they weren't bad fights to watch, were they? I know he got a shellac in it last one, but they weren't bad fights. They were entertaining. You would entertain the third one, wouldn't you?
You're getting carried away here, mate. It's gimmick, innit? The gimmick fights. People are getting carried away by it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying it's at a level.
Dad. One who sells tickets because of his fat dad. And we've got the Rhino who's acting out this part of this, this likeable whatever. Cunning as a fox, but it's Dave, don't ever change, Dave. And a load of shit. Cunning like a fox. If Dave had any knackers, he'd get Big Ron up phone and say, Big Ron, cheers for that, for getting me back in mix with them fights. But he ain't, so he's cunning like a fox. I ain't got no time for him, to be honest. I ain't got no time for backstabbers. None. But it is what it is, isn't it? If you can get that far because of social media, that's good, isn't it? But I want to see him doing runs. I don't want to hear talking about it. Let's see him run 6 mile in the morning because he's got ability. But I've got no time for wasted talent, me. None. So that's how I look at it, Aaron.
Do you think he wins a British title?
Yeah, if he fights that TKB and he's fit and he does a proper camp, I think he can beat him. But if he carries on like we get me Carrymores on, I'll go for a run today, and then you're ligged in bed all day or on your settee like that, doing YouTube channels about, I'm not really much of a gardener. I had to turn it off after 3 minutes. Look, I want to see action. Get the coats off and get at it. Get him in with Huey. Huey's not doing much. Huey and Rhino's a good fight, but who's going to put the money up?
Do you think Dave could beat Usyk? Because he's been out a long time, you hasn't he? And I know he's not.
Yeah, well, I don't know. We don't know, do we? We don't know where Rhino's at. He's just beat Elmer Fudd, who's no great shakes. People are losing the shit,
To
aren't
me,
they?
Usyk don't want to box. I don't think he wants to box.
Well, they won't do if they're getting if the he won't do, will he? He's just waiting for somebody to give him a payday, innit? Because he's a Fury. That's all they're waiting for. He's playing his day, but no YouTubers are going to put it on him, are they? Over that. That's how I look at it.
You're going to have to jump in with a Caballel, someone like that, short notice of Bacoli. That's the only way he's going to get a leg up you with Fury. A short notice fight with an active top 10, top 15 guy.
Well, Dylan White's saying, "I want Moses Atoma. I beat him. I get a world title shot." So respect to Dylan White if he turns up. Yui's got to take the leaf out of Dylan White's book. I've got to go get a top guy here who's highly ranked, and I'm really in the mix. You beat Caballel, Akoli, or Moses Atome, you're on everybody's lips. If you don't, you're like people mention Dylan White and Yui to me now, and they go, "Oh, Dylan White, 4-time drug cheat." They go, Yui, he's failed the dope test and he's not exciting and he's inactive. That's what people say. So you can't say, I'm going to make a statement. I'm coming back. I'm this, I'm that. I won all of them. And then fight Dan Garber. Or Ebenezer Tete.
Yeah, you're right.
White. You can't go all that and then go Tete and Dan Garber. Don't work like that. Go take a big name out. Dylan White's rolling the dice. He's probably getting paid well. He's going for Atoma. So you should go for a Coley. Well, why not? Or a Fabio Wardley. Or Derek Chisora. Go for them, but I don't see that same energy. You see where I'm coming from? So maybe there are certain in it, or maybe TV don't want it. You know? So there's a lot of facts, a lot of some things to be factored in here. If there's a problem with Yui's style, his training team have to change it up, don't they? If Yui's not out there on social media, get out there on social media, do interviews. Don't leave it to other people to do your interviews for you. Do it yourself. Sell yourself. Rhino and Dylan White have sold themselves, haven't they? But between them, they've got a vacant British title. That's it. That's it. But they've sold themselves and ended up with a few quid out of Joe, haven't they? Sometimes you don't need a lot of ability to get on in boxing. You just need to be in the right place at the right time and use a bit of that. But you've got to have the full package, haven't you, really? Tyson Fury's got the full package. He can sell himself and he's got the devil in him, hasn't he? Joshua can do the same, but he's marketable, isn't he, because of how he looks. Do you know what I mean? But he's shot now. So they should all take a leaf at every of these fighters' books. You don't have to overdo it like Rhino up on Twitter till 4 a.m. because then you're not going to get up at 6 a.m. to do a run. You just got to do a bit and keep, a bit here, a bit of a post here, a video here, and that's that. But sometimes it's overkill, isn't it? I don't know. What do you think, Aaron?
I think there's a lot of talk and not a lot of action with a lot of fighters these days, and I think somebody who's quiet, who I'd like to see back it mix, just chuck him in there with people who are talking, is Joe Joyce. Stick him with Hughie Fury. Stick him with Dave Allen. Stick him in with AJ. If you're scared about AJ, the big, slow, solid lump there in Joe Joyce, it's not a bad fight. 2 Brits, 2 Olympians. Make it happen.
Yeah. Put Joe Joyce in with Rhino.
I think it's a good fight, Joyce v Rhino. It's 2 tough guys that can take a shot who are going to go at it. It's a good fight. I think it's one of the best fights we could have in this country domestically. I really do.
Okay. Right, we'll finish up on this. Amzad Shiraz, I got it wrong. I took the L. I thought he'd lose against Berlanga, but he'd not really beat anybody. But I thought he had enough in his locker to do Shiraz. They're talking Canelo now. AD Alapido says he deserves it because he's an ambassador for Turkey. What do you make of that, Aaron?
Well, I've got to be honest, Russ, as well. I reached the same camp as you, really. I didn't really fancy Shiraz in that fight with Berlanga on weekend. No, I've never been impressed with him, mate. And his last fight against Adames, I thought he got beat. And I think he's a bit of a weight bully. And it suited him, going up again. He did the job. We can't knock him for that. But he reminds me kind of like a Callum Smith type. He's very much bullying people, having that massive frame. And it's going to work against certain people. But people who can work the way around that and counteract his size and get inside him and make him work back. Because I don't think Belanga's all too great himself, but we saw with Adames how he didn't like it back. So I think he'll do well to a point, but somebody like Canelo, I mean, to use a brick top term, do me a favour because he'll just smash him to bits. I can't see how he wins that fight, to be honest with you. But he's got Crawford on his hands, hasn't he? So I mean, that might never happen anyway.
Listen, I've got Crawford to beat Canelo, mate.
I'm on the fence with that one. It's just the size for me. He's definitely coming down the hill, Canelo. It's how far down that hill is he gone, and he's not really been pushed in his last few fights. So I think Crawford's an all-time great. Don't get me wrong, but again, he's coming up the hill in weight. It's I'm not sure on that one. I'm really not sure. I don't like to sit on the fence with fights, but I'm 50-50 on that one.
Okay. Okie dokie. Well, listen, thanks for coming on, Aaron. It's been a real tonic having you on. I hope you're well. And
Thank you. Brilliant, Russ. Thank you very much, mate. Cheers.
Mate.
Appreciate it.
Thank you.
See you later, buddy.
Right. Well, that were Aaron, a Yorkshire man. Women love him, men want to go for a pint with him. That's about it, really. I'm off out now. Don't forget, this is what we're going to be pushing. Want to meet the cameraman and all these other people now. I'm quite excited about this, actually. Don't usually get much opportunity on here. Well, I am a mouthpiece CUNT, aren't I? But it is what it is. Looks all right. So, okie dokie. Human nutrients. One piece out. Thanks for liking and subscribing and leaving a comment. Go on, booyaka.